Hi, welcome
to you
me
and
a cup of tea. Today is a special Barbie edition, and I'm Glam Barbie.
And I am Malibu Barbie.
And today we're going to get into all fun facts and trivia of Barbie and the history of Barbie and her controversy.
And we have some special guests. Jane
Should we
brought.
introduce
Yeah,
them?
we should.
Yeah.
Jane brought out her collection of boxed up Barbies never touched.
Never been opened.
Yes.
This one's my number one favorite. Marilyn Monroe Barbie. Put her to the screen.
Love it.
Which
and then
one?
we have Cinderella Barbie. Now this one's extra special to, I feel like, our
From 90s.
Yeah, from the 90s. It even has a book still inside it. Right, where is it? Right here?
Yeah, I think it's on this side. It's a Cinderella, little storybook.
Yep.
From the 90s.
Yep.
Never been opened. This wonderful Barbie. I love her so much.
Yep. She's so cute.
And then, thank you.
And then I brought a little Barbie.
Tattoo Barbie.
One of my friends made her for my birthday. And then, go ahead, Jane. You can.
I'll
Yeah.
grab this one.
It's like we don't want to knock them over.
This one is my mother, one of my mother-in-laws. She bought this for me for a birthday gift, a Wizard of Oz Barbie, because we both love Wizard of Oz.
My mom would love that. She was a big fan.
Shout out Christy.
And then we have the 2013 Holiday Barbie, which is the 25th anniversary. She's definitely in a very pretty snow princess dress.
Those were always some of my favorites.
Yes, the holidays.
Yeah.
They just look so glamorous.
So beautiful. Yeah. Yes. So those are some. I have many, many more, but they are in storage.
Yes.
So.
You can't take all of them out. There's so many Barbies.
But those are just some of my favorites that you guys can see.
Yeah.
But before we get into Barbie trivia and history of Barbie, we're also going to talk about the Lizzo controversy going on right now because I have some opinions on it.
It's insane in the membrane to me.
It really is, and yeah, I have some opinions for it. But before we even get into that, we'll start as always
with our tea.
Pouring our tea. Yep. Do you want to pour today, or do you want me to pour?
Okay. Well,
you pour.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it.
Okay.
So the tea that we're having for this special Barbie edition is cotton candy tea, and it's, oh man, I keep forgetting to bring out my tea bags for you guys, but I'll just put a picture up on the screen. Yeah. It's from David's brand, so that I've had on here, I think one time before with the salted caramel tea.
Oh yeah, that one was good.
Yeah, they're known for their super unique tea blends. This is a caffeine-free one as well, so anyone who just maybe doesn't want that caffeine but would like a nice indulgence, this is a
little sweet. Is it sweeter?
Oh, this is a very sweet one. Yes, cotton candy.
It'd be like a nighttime tea, I feel like.
Oh yeah, like when you want something a little sweet but don't want the caffeine. Yeah,
or the calories.
You let me know what you think it tastes like.
Cheers. Oh wow,
it really has that aftertaste of the cotton candy.
Yeah, but at first, it's like you don't taste it, but then once you swallow and get it, and it
has that
savory
aftertaste. Yeah, it's really smooth too. I really like this one, and I thought, what better episode than Barbie to break out cotton candy? Exactly.
All the pastel colors that she wears.
Exactly. So one of the best teas.
It's one of
made in Canada.
She's told me, she goes, I am saving this tea for this one particular episode, and I've actually had a little dream about it before, so it's pretty good.
Well, I hope it lives up to your expectations.
They always do. You have good taste. I think we have a lot of the same taste.
I just love tea. And you may notice that we are in a different setting today.
Yes, we are. It's very humid outside.
A little bit too humid
for Glamour Barbie.
For Glamour Barbie, exactly. I've got these long, sparkly leggings on, and yeah, I would die sitting on the patio.
Yeah.
I'd be a sweating mess. So
it was a good idea to move it inside for the time being, and we're able to display the Barbies, so I think it works out pretty.
I do too. Yes, Jennifer Aniston's not joining us today, but next episode.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Well, let's get into it then. We'll start with the Lizzo controversy. So for those of you who maybe don't know all of the details about it, last Tuesday it came out that Lizzo, 3 of her backup dancers are suing her for hostile work environment.
Are these former or current? Were they currently employed by her?
One of them was a I think now they might be former.
Now they are. But like when they were pursuing it.
Yes. So good question, because one of them actually was fired from Lizzo, and I'll talk about that as we get into it. But the other 2, from what I know, were current. So that's what kind of makes me think it's not just retaliation on the one girl. And I'll tell you the story as it goes on, cool. So you'll kind of know those details. But yes, one of them was, now they're all former, but one of them was former and the other were current. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's awkward.
So, yeah. So it kind of shocked me because, we don't want to give any spoilers away to the Barbie movie that just came out.
Right.
Which, big congratulations to them. They just hit $1 billion at the box office, and it broke a record. First movie directed by a woman to hit that.
That's really cool to hear. And before you get to the Lizzo controversy, I just want to say that a lot of people had different expectations for the movie, and I'm not going to say any spoilers, but it actually had a deeper meaning than a lot of people thought it would. Yes. And I cried.
Yeah, no, a lot of people did actually. A lot of people have told me they cried. I didn't cry, but I did get emotional.
Yeah,
like it does
it
hit you. Yeah, it does hit you in your feels for sure, and it's a great movie. So, and honestly,
I want to see it again.
It's not, and I think too, a lot of young kids, like especially girls or even young boys that think, oh, Barbie, like, and want to go see it, but it's kind of a little bit more adult.
Yeah, it is for
like teenagers, adult kind of type of movie. So, because some parents were like, oh my gosh, but it wasn't meant to be. I mean, it's PG-13, so obviously it's not meant for little young children to understand the concepts.
Barbie was really popular when we were kids, so like it was it was a lot of nostalgia watching it come to life. And it was funny because there was a moment in the theater when we went that like somebody had asked like, oh, is the old lady gonna die or something like that? But like it was funny because like they didn't realize who that lady was in that movie. Yeah, and I'm not gonna say anything.
Not gonna give any spoilers.
It was interesting.
It was great though, and but so to get back on to Lizzo, her music was featured in that movie. So, a lot of great things going on with Lizzo. She's huge. She's being nominated. What is that, the VMAs?
Yeah, she has, I don't remember exactly what it was, but she does have a nomination.
Yeah. So, huge. Obviously, Lizzo's doing great things, and she's always been, as most people know,
be who you are.
Be who you are. Body positive.
Which is
love everyone, no judgment type of person, and which is why a lot of people follow her and fell in love with her because of her message.
Yep. And she didn't care what she looked like with what she was wearing. Like she still slayed, I think, her every outfit that she has ever worn. And
exactly. So to hear this come out, I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to dive in.
Yeah. And also,
oh, the dogs are coming in.
Oh no, they shouldn't.
But, oh well, it's fine. This is gonna be a authentic episode. Yeah, so if they hear the dogs, it is what it is.
But going to the Lizzo, like being who you are, that was a big message in the Barbie movie, and that's what Barbie like kind of entails. Like, be who you want to be. Like, there's so many different types of Barbie and different versions that there's not just one Barbie. So it's just crazy because like being who you are and then hearing this, like. I don't even know what the whole controversy is exactly about, so I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, so
moving forward.
So basically, that's why it was such a surprise, and I was like, okay, I need to dive into this because I'm like, what the hell, Lizzo? Like, that's the last person you would expect to like hear something like this come out of. So the backup dancers that are suing her, they're suing her for a hostile work environment, sexual harassment claims, and religious harassment claims.
By her individually?
So her and her dance captain. She has a dance captain, obviously probably doing a lot of the choreography for her videos, for her performances. So they're both being sued. And for different, the dance captain's very largely being sued for the religious harassment.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Apparently she's very Christian and very strong on her beliefs, which, it's fine. This is America. Everyone can believe what they want to believe, have the right to, worship whatever religion they want, but you should not push your beliefs on to others, especially in a work environment.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they've made claims about the dance captain to Lizzo and nothing had been done or addressed. So that's a big issue.
Yeah.
Especially in a place of work. Now, I think a lot of times when it comes to celebrities, we tend to, we don't think of what they do as work, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
When she's doing rehearsals with her dancers, that is work. Those dancers are being paid to be there. You're in a work environment.
That's their livelihood. They put in their 8 hours.
Exactly. So there should still be those boundaries that you shouldn't cross. And it sounds like a lot of boundaries have been crossed in this lawsuit that's going on. The biggest one for sexual harassment is they did a show in Amsterdam.
Oh, God.
And we know, as most people probably know, Amsterdam is very big on sexual liberation. Prostitution is legal there. They have the big red light district where it's those houses that you go in and it's entertainment, but I think you can also, you know what I mean, pay for
like in
relations.
The movie, for example, in the movie Taken, like that was legal there.
Yes. So Amsterdam is and that's great for if like Lizzo is very sexually liberated, and hopefully we're allowed to say that on YouTube. I don't know.
Oh, no, it's a term. I think.
But she's very liberated in that aspect, and that's great when somebody is comfortable, and that's awesome. But apparently the dancers that are suing her for this, they didn't want to go. They didn't feel comfortable going there. And to me, you can support that kind of stuff, but you don't have to go. I mean, when you're in that environment, it is a very specific environment. It's high sexual. Like, you're not going to go there and be left alone.
No,
you know what I mean? It's a very, where you're going when you're going to that red light show. Is that what they call them? I know it's called the red light district, and it's there's prostitutes and dancers, entertainment, and then you can, have relations there. So, you know what you're going when you go to those places. So, me personally, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable going in there, and not because I don't agree with, Lizzo being comfortable doing that, but I don't want to go and touch someone or have someone touch me.
You don't know.
That's not what I would want to do as my fun, thing to do. No. And they felt pressured that they had to go in the first place or they would lose their jobs. And first, that's a big red flag. If you're feeling like you have to do something that you're not comfortable doing for the sake of your livelihood, that is a hostile work environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So probably more than likely, other things have came up where maybe they're like, hey, we don't want to do this. And it created tension or it created animosity or whatever. Hence why they felt like they had to go or they were going to get fired. Yeah. So they go to this show that they don't want to be at in the first place. And then Lizzo, I guess, pressures them to touch the dancers' breasts and to, now this is interesting with the details. Like a banana was in one of the dancers' crotch. Can you say crotch? Yes. Okay, we'll say that. I don't know what we can or can't say, but yes, a woman's crotch. There was a banana and was pressuring her girls to take the banana out and
on stage.
Yes, and in this Amsterdam, and like I'm saying, these places, it's kind of like a anything goes.
Yeah.
So if
no
you're already
zone,
exactly no judgments on that, it's perfectly, that's their entertainment. They're happy doing that. So that's fine. But if the girls who didn't feel comfortable going in the first place don't want to be a part of that, you should not pressure them to be a part of that.
No, yeah.
That is sexual harassment. Wow. Point blank. There's nothing else you can argue about that.
Oh my gosh.
That's some of the gist of it. If you read, there's actually a lot and just a lot of details and then also one of the girls' virginity they would talk about all the time because she was still a virgin. Yeah. I
hate that.
I know. There is a lot to this story, so I'm just trying to give the brief little rundown of it because it's pretty long and I don't want to like drag this out. But yeah, so there's a lot of big no-nos happening here. Why?
Big no-nos.
Yes. Why
I love that.
there's this lawsuit going on. And I sort of lost my train of thought of where I was going with that. Yes.
Like so she made a statement.
Yes. So Lizzo made a statement that she said normally she doesn't address when there's false rumors going around about her, but that this was too outrageous and ridiculous to not address, that it's absolutely not true, that she would never create a hostile work environment or force anyone to be a part of anything. Basically, to sum it up, that's like what she's saying.
But it's hard for her to, I think, to even say that because, like, she may not even know if there's any video footage. I mean, she's a celebrity. She's a performer. Like, exactly. That Amsterdam show, I'm sure there's some sort of video. Like, was it on stage that she was telling them to take the banana out of their hoo-ha?
I think, the performer was on some type of stage and they were kind of celebrating. It was after they had done like a performance or a routine, something of that nature.
Being a celebrity, you know that there's cameras everywhere. Yeah, so they're partying,
celebrating. And what the girls were saying is they didn't even want to go in the first place, but then they felt pressured to going and felt like they had to go or they would lose their job. So that's why they were there. And then while they were there, she was pressuring them to partake in these activities that they just did not want to. And they said immediately after they left, they felt awful.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
So, to me, if it was just the one dancer who was let go from Lizzo, who claims she was let go because Lizzo actually told her she was gaining too much weight. That's what the claim is. Now, again, as this goes on, more stuff comes out. Maybe there will be proof who's right, who's wrong. But from what that dancer is saying, they were putting her weight on blast.
Oh, my God.
And she shortly after got fired. So.
Wow. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's like.
Which.
I for somebody who's experienced like body image frustrations and like how you like just how you view yourself and like that's hard to hear that like because she's always about being
body
like,
positive, exactly,
body positive.
And that's why these
that's
why these allegations are so shocking that it's coming from Lizzo, and Lizzo's saying it's not true. So we'll see how this plays out. Proof is gonna need to come out on probably both sides in this case because it's gonna turn into a, she said type of situation. But the reason that it is sparking some red flags too for me is it's not just this one dancer who was formally let go, it's the other two as well that weren't, and they're talking about the sexual harassment allegations and the hostile work environment.
There probably was a lot going on behind the scenes that most people would probably just keep hush hush, but there's some people that you like they don't care. They like if you feel disrespected or you feel like you're walked all over on or anything like that, I think that it sparks a motive like this. Like it's a big one. And for Lizzo, there's also rumors that she, the BMA or the.
Oh no, yeah, you said.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought she had already mentioned this, but she. Now they're saying she's nominated. Yeah, she's nominated for a VMA, but they're even talking about taking away her nominations for these allegations because they don't want somebody around and at their show like that. It's really bad press, and it sucks if it's false. If it's false, it sucks for Lizzo. It sucks for her team and her career.
Yeah.
And it's just extra stress for somebody, but if it is true, then
100%. Exactly. I think that some people, especially, this might be what I'm going to say, maybe a little bit controversial, but I think right now a lot of not even just celebrities, but big influencers or
they're
big
going
whatever.
Back to the basics.
Well, they're going so extreme. Like, so.
Well, yeah.
So like where I was going with it was these dancers that were saying, hey, we didn't feel comfortable going to this place. They shouldn't be shamed for that. Just like you shouldn't shame somebody for having their kink or whatever. Maybe they're into bananas or into buddies, whatever. Okay, if everyone's a consenting adult, okay, great. Do your thing, right? But you shouldn't shame someone for being like, hey, I'm not comfortable being around that environment. That's not what I want to do for fun. I'd rather go do something else. No big deal. It should have been that. That's it. No worries. You don't have to come to this red light show. Like, point blank, end of, that's all it should have been.
And no means no.
Exactly. So
that's the biggest message. Like, if somebody is uncomfortable with something, you can't force somebody to do something. But if they agree to it and then it turns out bad, then let that be a little bit of a lesson.
Exactly. And the thing is too, I think for Lizzo especially. Hey, authentic. This is an authentic recording.
Her cat is sleeping right underneath the camera, and he has not moved.
Oh, he did a little stretchy stretch.
Yeah, he's good.
But basically, I too think Lizzo should hold, celebrities in general.
Accountability.
They should hold accountability, yes, but also they need to have their professionalism, because even if, say, Lizzo didn't think she was pressuring them, maybe she was just being her Lizzo self and, fun, and she's very outlandish, maybe to her it's all fun and games, but to somebody else it wasn't, and since that's their boss, they felt pressured
and disrespected.
So there have to be those boundaries. Don't go out with your dancers to a red light district show. Go with your friends. Go with your significant other. Go with your whoever you want to party with, but maybe not the people you employ.
Yeah.
Right? Because now look at what's happening.
Yep. It went for the wrong turn, and now there's some consequences.
Yes. You need to have that professionalism, absolutely, and we'll see. This is still early on, so we'll see how this plays out. Maybe Lizzo has proof that they're BSing it. Maybe they'll have some crazy proof. We'll see what happens.
I don't even know how you would even prove that it's not true, unless
maybe if there's
some video
text or video.
Yeah, it's weird. We'll see how that goes. I didn't even know you could. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, let's get to the fun part.
Now we'll get to the fun Barbie part. So we'll kick it off with Barbie trivia.
Malibu Barbie here speaking. Okay. Just kidding. Okay, so I have a few questions, and
gonna quiz me.
I'm gonna quiz her. And well, first I just wanna ask you, what do you think Barbie's biggest message is? We already kind of talked about this. Biggest message is to young girls or kids,
Well, what I've always
when you were a kid, what was your impression on it?
So this is actually so funny that you're going to ask this, because this is why I've been obsessed with Barbie since forever. I've collected Barbie. I have so many more. I wish I could have them all out, but I can't. I'd probably look like a hoarder, honestly, if I did. But
no.
I've always loved Barbie. And what I used to tell people when I was a kid, and so adults thought it was just so funny, I'd be like, the reason I like Barbie so much is because she can do anything she wants, and she does it in a pair of heels.
Yes. And you know what's funny? Okay, really quick, I am a big brother of the show. I'm a big fan of the show Big Brother, and there was a clip that I just seen on Instagram, and it was this girl. She was doing a competition where she had to run down one end and do something and bring it back and do the other, and she won, and she was wearing heels.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I know. That's why I had to bring that up, because she won the very first competition of the summer, because the season just started, and she was flying in heels. She was flying like she was in wheels, but she was in heels.
Yeah.
That was a big tongue twister.
Well,
so yeah.
That's what because I've always been super girly, and I always liked that. And I think her biggest message is be who you want, and you can be who you want.
And be a boss lady in heels.
And that's what I always took away from Barbie. So
I liked your answer. Actually, float. That was cool. Okay. All right. So. Okay, in what year did Barbie release the most expanded body style Barbie collection?
Expanded Barbie style Barbie collection. In what year?
Yeah. Where there was more diversity, I should say.
Okay. Was it 2017?
Oh, you're so close. 2016.
I almost said 2016.
Oh, damn it. And yeah, so in 2016 they released Petite Barbie, Curvy Barbie, and what was it called? What was the third one? It was a curvy, petite, and tall, because Barbie has always been, the same size throughout the years, but then I think a lot of people were turned away from Barbie for a while, because then their body positivity came out, and not everybody looks like a Barbie doll. The original one, or what have you.
Right. So no, and that I remember when those were launched, because I was like, oh, That's great because then little girls can see, hey, this Barbie looks like me.
Yeah,
like
and
this,
then it's the concept of it. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Do you know what they were called? This line of Barbies? I think you would like it.
They were called Everyday Barbie. I don't know.
The Fashionistas.
Oh, take it. Okay.
The Fashionista collection was released in 2016.
Oh, I do love that. The fashion. Oh, you'd think I would have known that.
And they also, they had a variety of skin tones. They had a variety of hairstyles, outfits. It was a big expansion for the Barbie Mattel brand.
That's awesome.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Do you know when Barbie's birthday is?
Barbie's birthday is March. Hold on.
I think she knows this.
I know it's March, and I know it's 59.
Yes.
The date, I don't remember the date. Oh man, because I did a report on this, like I said, my senior year, and I know it was March 59. Was it March 3? Oh, I don't know.
It was March 9th.
March 9th. Damn it.
I know, it was on the tip of your tongue.
Okay, well,
so
I get half a point, I think.
Yes,
I got it.
I'm not really keeping score, but I think we're all winners in my book.
But yes, I did know it was March and 59.
Awesome. Okay. And what was the Barbie doll inspired by?
Oh, well, the Barbie doll was inspired by the creator. I forget her name, honestly. Well, Barbara's her daughter. Yeah, it was inspired by her daughter. So she actually went to Germany.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, keep going because this is the whole answer.
Okay, yeah. So she went to Germany and she was inspired by, they had like a doll, like an older woman-ish looking, doll.
An adult doll.
Like an adult doll, yes. And that inspired her because baby dolls were pretty much what was mainly on the market for young girls. And she felt that she actually would watch her daughter and her friends play, and oftentimes they would pretend to be like an adult, and that's more so what they would play.
Yep.
And that inspired her because she saw that doll, and then she named Barbie after Barbara. Yeah.
So yes, the baby dolls are correct, but at first it was paper dolls.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's okay.
That's right.
But the doll that it was based off of was called a Bild Lily. And it was a German doll created in 1952, she was a high-end call girl named Lily, this doll.
Ooh.
And when, sorry.
I don't even know if I even knew that.
Oh, yeah, this is information that I just, came across when I was doing my questions for you. And it was featured in a comic strip called Bild Z, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Bild, BILD ZEITUNG. So Z-Tune. I don't know.
German.
Yeah, it was German. It's a German name. Bear with me. And it was sold as adult novelty in bars and tobacco shops.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. But funny enough, the creator Barbie visited Germany and she bought that doll and brought it home. And that was an inspiration for her creation of Barbie.
Yes, which is so awesome.
Yep. And okay, you ready?
I'm ready. Okay.
What was Ken named after, the Ken doll? This is really weird, actually.
Was he named after her
son?
Oh, her son. Okay. Oh, I see. I forgot she had a son.
Yeah. So her son was named Kenneth, and it's kind of funny to me that how they were inspired to be together, Barbie and Ken, but they were actually siblings in real life. And for those who've seen the movie, maybe that makes a little bit sense of
oh yes,
you don't need another person in your life to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But smart. Okay. Yeah.
Next question: have Barbie and Ken always been together as their dolls? Their dolls. This is so weird because I read this the other day.
Have they always been
have they always been together? Have they ever
Ken?
been broken up? This is a silly question.
Yes.
Okay, yes, they have.
That was a guess.
They broke up in 2004, and they got back together in 2011. This is what the creators of Barbie had released, and it says, Barbie had told her fans on Facebook in 2011 that her heart only beats for Ken.
Oh my gosh.
But she did have a rebound doll romance with Blaine Gordon, who was a doll and a boogie boarder from Australia.
Oh, that's awesome. Go Barbie.
She did not think he was Ken potential, though, I have a feeling. So she got back together with Ken.
So it was back with Ken.
So there was a bit of a storyline, but it makes sense that there's a storyline to Barbie because there's actually a show on YouTube on Barbie for kids.
The Barbie, isn't it the Barbie Diaries or Barbie
something like that?
Life in the Dream House. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Where was Barbie born?
Freak.
What state was Barbie born? I'll simple it up for you. You got 50 options, girlfriend.
Okay. The state Barbie was born was, I'm just totally guessing something, Massachusetts.
Not Wisconsin.
Oh, dang.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I don't know why in my head I was like, maybe Boston. Who knows?
Boston. All right,
I have no idea.
And that's my 10 questions for Miss Jane over here.
Ooh. Well, thank you, Emily. Those are some good trivia questions.
I know, like, it was kind of hard because, like, I know some facts, like, I know you know, like, and I was like, I need to, like, I need to find something a little deeper.
No, that's really good because I didn't even know about, like,
her rebound guy.
Yeah, that stuff about Ken because I didn't care about Ken.
I mean,
Ken's over there. Go away, Ken. You know what? Actually, when I would play with my Barbies, I would take my brother's G.I. Joes and his action figures, and because I thought they were more manly to be with Barbie. So see, I always knew that Barbie and Ken, there's something not quite right of them
they're
being
a little
couple.
too plastic, maybe.
No. Okay. Well, that was awesome.
Cool.
So now Glam Barbie is just going to talk about some facts of Barbie and Barbie's history, some maybe a little bit controversial.
Oh.
I don't think, and as you get into it, I don't think it was to be intentional, but
times are changing.
Yeah. So I'll start with this fun fact. That I stole from Emily. And it is that the Barbie dream house is sold every 2 minutes. And more than 100 dolls are sold every minute.
Isn't that crazy? Like, to think about that somebody's buying a Barbie dream house every 2 minutes.
That's
30
crazy.
Barbie dream houses in an hour.
And it's probably because it's, like, around the world, so that's how that's possible, but that's crazy.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Why don't I have one?
Someone right now is buying a Barbie dream house.
I know.
I want one, actually.
I do, too.
We should get each other Barbie dream houses for Christmas.
Yeah! That'd be fun.
Okay, so now we'll get into Barbie's controversy.
Oh, poor Barbie.
All right, so the first one is actually I learned back when I did my report in high school, but just thought it's a great one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this took place in the year 2001. So we were very young still, but
first grade for me.
So Barbie did a partnership with Nabisco, and Nabisco, they're big for their cookies, Oreos.
Yeah, I think I remember
Chips
this.
Ahoy. Yes. So there was a Barbie Oreo that was sold, and I'll put the pictures in the video, of course, but she's all geared up in a blue and, to match the Oreo packaging is how her dress and her box was. And it actually came with like a little on the inside of the box, a little like 4-pack of Oreos. Okay. And it was just like it was a partnership they did to promote Oreos and get more sales on Oreo cookies. And so they made the Oreo Barbie, and it was actually a hit. It did very, very well. But the controversy came because they had a normal Barbie, normal blonde, stereotypical Barbie, but then they also had, black Barbie to be the Oreo Barbie. And that's when the controversy really hit hard. And
they did actually make
black Barbie as Oreo Barbie. And the issue with that is that Oreo,
the term Oreo is
the
slang.
Term, yes, is a derogatory term for an African American person who is black on the outside but white on the inside, or whitewashed, or they'd be called a sellout.
Yeah.
And so that started a huge controversy that they were, oh, this black Barbie is an Oreo Barbie. It's a whitewash
it's very
sellout.
Offensive to
very
the
offensive.
American culture.
Yeah.
For sure.
And a lot of people were very upset. Now, the intention was not, you can tell, the people who did this, because it was a partnership for Nabisco. So it wasn't like they were creating a black Barbie to be Oreo Barbie. They already had, regular blonde Barbie, and it's just to sell Oreo cookies, and then they did black Barbie with it.
I think they were trying to make it more friendly for all races.
Exactly. But they didn't do their research. So that's what it was, because then that's when they're like, hey, the marketing team of Mattel should have dug deep on this, did some research,
or been more aware.
Talked to another African American. Maybe they'd be like, hey, that's
offensive.
That's offensive towards us because it's calling us this, know.
Going after their culture almost.
And immediately after backlash was coming at them, they pulled Oreo Barbie altogether off the shelves, and that promotion ended short.
So how long did it last, you think? Like a couple weeks?
So they pulled it off the shelves. Hold on, where was I? It was so, because first the promotion was going on for a while, because first it was the, normal blonde stereotypical
they changed it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no. Wow. Then they added the black Barbie, so it was still you can get blonde Barbie or you can get black Barbie, but they were for Oreo.
But there was
it was shortly after that the whole thing started, and they removed them off the shelves, and that was the end of Oreo Barbie altogether. So if you do have one now, though, it's worth some moolah.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So that one's crazy.
I do remember the Oreos. I don't remember the doll part, though.
Yeah, and we were so young. We were in elementary school,
first grade
that time, so we would have no idea. But so that is a big controversy of Barbie's past, which I again think it wasn't intentional of Mattel, but they should have done their research first, and realized, hey, that's offensive.
Yeah.
So yes, okay. So
you live and you learn.
Exactly. Yes. So they didn't do anything after that. All right, so the next one, this one came long time ago for their controversy. It's one of the first Barbie controversies, actually. It was called the Slumber Party Barbie, and she came out in 1965.
Ooh.
So long time ago. But this Barbie hit the shelves, and she was included with a pink scale that she carried around, to weigh yourself, pink scale. And it was set to 110 pounds, and a book on how to lose weight. And the one page in this fake Barbie book that were instructions of how to lose weight just said, don't eat. And that's it. So this was Slumber Party Barbie. And
what?
Yes, the 60s, man, it still had some 50, misogynistic male vibes, I guess, where women just skinny. But yes, that Barbie, and that Barbie actually was sold for a long time and did well, because that controversy didn't come till later on, when women were like, hey, wait a minute, I don't want my daughter starving herself. Yeah, because that's terrible. You will die from that. So yes, that was a big.
It's interesting though that it was a slumber party Barbie that they did that with.
Yeah,
like it's weird. Like when you go to a slumber party, I remember when I was a kid, you'd be eating sweets all night, like
junk food,
popcorn,
watching movies. Yes, exactly.
Sneaking horror movies.
65 was such a long time ago, and I think there were still those women stayed at home, and you look this way, and
you stay at home.
Mm-hmm. And that's why too this Barbie was sold for a long time before there was actually any. Yeah. Women were like, hey, wait a second, like, no, because then shortly after women's liberation was starting to get going, and like, no, we're not Barbies, like,
we're human beings, and
yes.
Everybody's different.
All right, so this one is crazy, and I actually didn't know about this one. So this one was new for me when I was doing my research. So there was a Barbie little series called Barbie Forever and Tanner the Dog. And she had a little cute brown doggy.
I remember this. Yeah.
And this Barbie was released in 2006, so early 2000s, but it was discontinued 4 years later in 2010.
Wow.
So it was a short-lived Barbie. she was a professional dog walker, and the controversy comes with the little pieces of plastic poop that the dog could poop out. So you would feed the dog its food through its mouth, and then it would poop out little plastic pieces of poop at the end. Now, that's not what the controversy was. Maybe some parents were kind of like, okay,
was it because it was weird. A small item that people or kids would swallow? It
was so small. Kids were swallowing and choking on them, and actually had hospitalizations reported from the little plastic
tanner.
Because, if you give this doll to maybe a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, they still are putting, even 5-year-olds might still put stuff in their mouth. Maybe at that point they shouldn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a certain point where kids know not to put stuff in their mouth, but the young ones, 2, 3, 4, they're still putting stuff in their mouth all the time. Yep. And I know this from working at a preschool. Yes.
Maybe I did need some caffeine today.
Oh, yeah, this is caffeine free. It's not going to give you that energy buzz. Like, normally all the ones I had were like high caffeine.
I know, and I'm like,
hey guys! Yeah. So it was discontinued in 2010, and it's never been sold since, and will never be sold again. So it's forever. If you do have this, I'm sure it will be worth some money one day. Because,
but did they still have the dog? Like, they just made could they make the dog without the poop?
I think they do have like a dog in the Barbie line, but it's not the same one.
Gotcha.
Because this dog, Tanner,
yeah,
it's a specific dog. I don't think this one is sold anymore. Gotcha. But yeah. All right. And then the last one that I have for you. This one was called Mexican Barbie. And which, that's, they were trying to do Barbies of around the world. And this was actually in the late 80s that this Barbie came out, 1988. And, it was the Dolls of Around the World collection. And they wanted one to represent Mexican culture, which is great. But they did it completely the wrong way. And it was the, stereotypical, outrageous kind of stereotypical that they did with it. So
did she have like that long, beautiful, like the colorful dress?
She did have that specific dress, but it was pink to be Barbie.
Yeah.
A pink passport and a little chihuahua. Just holding it.
Okay.
And that was this represents Mexican culture right here, this Barbie. So clearly a lot of people were outraged. Like, how does this represent our culture,
So what about Taco Bell? Taco Bell's mascot was a chihuahua.
Well, if you're aware of the mascot, he's not the mascot.
No, he's not, but he was.
Exactly, because that was their thing. And, I mean, that was kind of cute and playful, but it died probably because there was some backlash, I'm sure, and realized, hey, that's could be offensive because I don't even know why that's a stereotype.
I don't even know why.
Like, Chihuahua with his,
I've never even, because a lot of movies, like dog movies, like, like where they like voice them over and they talk, like they do have, like there's a lot that have Mexican accents.
So I don't know if maybe,
are they based, maybe the Chihuahua is like
in
from
Mexico. Maybe. I don't know, so I don't want to say,
we don't know.
We don't know. But it is stereotypical to just assume, oh, okay, you're from Mexico, so you have a Chihuahua. Like that's such one of those stupid stereotypical, which us people all have those like stereotypical jokes that they, whatever.
100%.
And it is like kind of hurtful because it's not true. And to Mattel, that was good enough to represent their Mexican Barbie that they wanted to display. Oh, and she was still like very kind of white looking as well.
It wasn't
she had like a slight tan. So it was just they did it all wrong, and whether they again did that intentionally or just didn't put any research or effort into it.
Yeah. I think they just kind of wanted maybe Barbie to be like everybody can be Barbie. Like maybe it was a move to get more people. It was. Into it.
They just did not do research or anything, and they did change that Barbie up because it did get backlash, and people were upset about it because they were like, "How does this represent our culture?" So they did make her darker. They changed her dress. I think they ditched the Chihuahua.
Yeah.
And so that's how they kind of fixed that situation. But yeah, so that's what I have for you for some of Barbie's controversy.
They did have a pregnant one too.
They did. March. I was going to talk about that one, but a lot of people do know about that one. It's one of the biggest controversies that people know, so I kind of wanted to do different ones that maybe people weren't as aware of.
She was in the movie, though. She had a cameo. I remember seeing her there, and that was cool.
Yes, because a lot of people do know about Marge, and because she was a big...
It was a weird, though, for, like, a kid to buy a Barbie and it be pregnant, like, that you don't really, like, that's, like, like, your kid is like, oh, where's that baby coming from? You know what I mean?
So it could, so that's, so I just was like, oh, everyone knows that story.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Yeah, so I did these little ones, but that's what I have for you for
Jean.
Controversy.
That was so interesting. I didn't know about those.
And we want to thank you guys, of course, for tuning in to today's Barbie episode
of You,
Me, and a cup of tea. And we will see you guys next time.
Yeah, have a great day.
Bye.